today.
It's time.
No, it's not. We're not doing today, my boo Jonah, today. We're doing knitting today.
It's time for Mum to knit today because she made some of these.
I made some yarn. Yeah, hang on. We'll show everybody in a minute. So, hello, everybody. My camera's awfully low, isn't it? Hang on. Let's just see if I can adjust that just a smidgen. There you go. That's a bit better. For those of you who are new to my channel, don't worry, he's not saying, haha, he's going to Ed. He just likes to come down and say hello to everybody. So, yeah.
Mum does a lot of knitting.
Mum did some yarn winding, yes.
And I even tried to play with them because...
Yeah, he chased the yarn balls all over the floor while I was winding it.
And some of them tried to get my knee. That was the quietest of funniest.
There's Elle. Say hi, Elle.
Hi, Elle.
Let me move that down just a smidgen so we can see you. Oh. I must have moved my camera because it's not in the right place now. Come here and say hi, and then you can go back upstairs.
Hi. Mum done some knitting.
No, I wound some yarn. Yeah.
This is the pink. This is the red and black.
That one's multicoloured.
This is the multicoloured.
Yeah.
This is purple.
Yeah.
And this is red and purple.
Yeah.
Mum, can you use this one today?
Daryl wants me to use that one.
Because it's really nice.
Because it's really nice. But I know Elle will want me to use that one. Because Elle's got a bit of a thing for red and black. And when I sold Elle her spinning wheel, I gave her fibre that I dyed that was red and black as well. So, which is pretty cool. Leave my washi tape alone.
Those are actually my washi tapes.
No, they're not. They're my washi tapes.
It's time for today, Mum, to do some knitting.
Yes, I'm going to do some knitting. Right, so you're going to say goodnight and go to bed.
I want to stay down here.
Because if you stay down here, I'll have to give you lipstick kisses.
Oh, come on.
Oh, yeah, maybe not. Oh, look, people saying hi to you.
Hi, guys. Hi. Oh, come
Even though I've proven so many times that this lipstick doesn't come off.
Oh, yeah.
Yuck. Right, go on. Off you go. Look, there's kisses. Good boy. Say see you later, everybody.
See you later, everybody.
Bye. Go on.
Bye.
No, that means you have to leave now. That means you have to leave now. Hey, Vic the Viking. Come on. You have to go now because people are coming in.
And Mum, he's Vic the Viking.
He's got a beard and he's a Viking.
Hi, King.
Say hi, Vic.
Hi, Vic.
Right, come on. Right, bed. Good night. Love you loads. Kiss.
I hate lipstick kisses.
I know you do. Oh. Ah, hey, thanks for the follow, Vic.
Oh, I love that thing.
Yes, I know you do. Right, go on. Shoo.
Tell me when there's more. Love you.
Love you too.
Where did that thing go?
He does have a magnificent... And you touched it. You touched the beard. Wow. I did nose into his stream a few days ago, I think it was. I didn't stop long enough, so I didn't say hi. But you were... I don't exactly know what you were, but you were in a lift going somewhere. I don't know where. My camera's ran the wrong way, I've just realised.
Good night.
That's really annoying. Yeah, you were in a lift going...
Good night.
It looked like a horror. Yeah, Little Nightmares, that was it.
Mom,
That was it.
Night.
Night, Daryl.
You wasn't
That's
saying
better. I'm the right way around now. Yeah, it looked really good. What? Who's a dog? Oh, there's Dork. Hi, Dork. Okay, so this is what I wound today. That's also the wrong way round. Oh my fucking god. You can tell I've just set this up, can't you? Because it's all round the wrong freaking way. And it's doing my head in now, and I'm probably going to do this the wrong way. No, I didn't. Oh, good. Right, sorry about that. But I set this up because it's different from my other stream, so yeah. That's that. Oh, wow. These are all like the wrong way now. Hang on. Gosh, how unprofessional am I? There we go. Right, this... Now if I put... There we go. Right. This is what I have wound today, and you guys get to choose which one I cast on with. Okay. This is, I hope that sparkle's showing up. It's more purple than blue, and this was a yarn that was dyed. Yeah, it was dyed after Sparkle Duck passed away. Elle, do you remember? Knitting Goddess dyed it, and it is 2012, I think it was. Yeah, and this was called Sparkle Lin, and can you see the sparkles? I love that. Love you too, baby. This one is called Gaitha and is named after a witch from the Terry Pratchett novels. This one is called Red Chakra, Red Goddess, Goddess Red Chakra. This is Daryl's favourite. He wants me to have that one. Okay, that's red with a little bit of purpley blues in it. Elle wants me to have this one. This is Menace, as in Dennis. Hey, Vigdis! And
Oh no, it's
crap.
your mom calling.
Sorry.
What the
Yes?
I have the police here now searching his room.
Shit. Sorry about that. Family drama. It's always the way. And then there's this one, which is pinks and purples. So, you guys have to pick 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So many pretties, I know. This is what you did to us the other day, where we were like, I don't know how to do a poll thingy. Right, what have we got? We've got a 1, a 3, 2 4s. We've got another 1 and a 5. Well, that's. Okay, we're going to take it down to 1 and 4 because they got more votes, didn't they? 1, 3, 4, 4. Help vote. Yeah, very. Yeah. Right. So it's out of these two then. Sparkly, sparkly purple or red and black. 1 and 4. Okay, so that's 2 for this one. Gail, which colour do you like? Do you like the sparkly, sparkly purple or red and black? Okay. It's kind of cool actually that you guys picked that because I'll recognise the label. Hi Mary. It's one of mine. It is one of mine. Yeah, I dyed this yarn. A long time ago. I didn't put a date on it, unfortunately. Yeah, I dyed this yarn. I don't even have the email address anymore. So, yay. Now, differently to what Elle did, I have wound a cake, as you can see. The good thing about these is you can pull the yarn from the middle as well. I pull the yarn from the middle for one sock and from the outside for the other sock. I also work on a circular needle and not those little stabby sticks that she works on. So, oh my god, my needles are... Did you watch that super stretchy cast on, Elle? The other day that I linked in your channel? Not yet. Right, okay. So what you do is you start with, I'm going to be using the yarn in my wrong hand. I don't knit with the yarn in my right hand usually. You start with the yarn like that. So tail in your hand. You go over, put the needle in behind, wrap the yarn round. Okay, Daryl. Come under, over, and back on. Hey, Mikey. And that casts you on 2 stitches. Okay, so I'll show you again. Go over, put the needle in behind the stitch, wrap, go under and slide it on like so. The first 2 are the hardest bits because the tail keeps getting in the way. And then once it's in, you just go behind the... I can never remember how to do it actually. My mind's gone completely fucking blank, hang on. It's like the phone call threw me for a... Trouble is with this, it does get a bit tight when you're doing it. No, that's not right, is it? Do you know, my brain's gone completely fucking blank. Why isn't it casting on? What am I doing wrong? Hang on, I'm going to have to look it up because I can't remember. That's really dumb. It's been a while since I cast on socks, see, I knew I should practice today. Sure it's like that. That just feels really twisted. Oh my god, how embarrassing. Oh look, see, she's going to gabble at the camera. Just show us. Major slow-mo. That's right, loop it over. There you go, got it now. Wow, as I said, it's been a while. So the idea for this is that you cast on all of your stitches. Nadine, how are you? Excuse the slurpy slurpy. It's my dog. She always waits until I go live. And then she absolutely has to have a drink. Right, so now I'm going. So, what you do, hang on, let's make that a little bit more focus. Will the camera doohickey up? Okay. Come on, just enough. There you go. So what you do, I place my this needle there just to help sort of give you a little bit of space. Go over the needle that way, so backwards, then around the other needle. Yeah. Knit it through, then bring it down and underneath, and then like that. So over, around, like so. And it casts on 2 stitches at a time. So from the back over the top, then around the next needle, bring it through, go under your yarn and put the stitch on. You'll start barking like a little... Yeah, I know, she always has to have a drink. It's so annoying. You do the fingers of one hand on one needle. Yeah, this is like a really stretchy cast on though, that's why I like it. So... What kind of dog have you got then? She's only a little Shih Tzu. She's an old lady now though. Elle remembers her from when she was she's good at putting her ass under your green screen and farting. It's a bigums doggo. A bigums doggo, is it? A bigums. Bit bigums than I says them. Completely lost tension then. That's alright, Mary. Hope you're alright, lovey. Grocery shopping done. Well done, you. I bought dog food and that was it. I was like, oh, I can't be bothered to do the grocery stores today. I did get my flu jab though, which was, you know, stabby. Hi, Sue. Because watching TV and headphones upstairs. Have you still got like torrential rain where you are, Elle? Because we've had it like constantly for 2 days now and it's getting floody. Yeah. A big amber alert. Ooh, not good. All stuck out the way and put your buckets out. Oh, God. Does your store flood then? Or just what you don't need? Your warehouse is upstairs, so the oh, right, okay. No, I have lots of stitches. And I haven't been counting. Has anybody else been counting? Because that would be really helpful. Size needles do you use, Elle? Just out of interest. Oh wow, I've done loads. 50, 52, 56, 60. I've casted on like a gazillion too many. Use 2.5. I use 2.25, and I cast on a 72 stitch sock. just going to triple check that count. 2, 4, 6. 18, 20, 22. Need to bitch out Walmart. The only thing you now have to be careful after doing that super stretchy cast on is that you don't like create a huge gap. So find the middle point and pull your needles through. Yeah, we're getting that a lot here as well. Like, you know, oh, one minute he's supposedly fine, and then another minute he's like serious or something. It's like, yeah, well, we don't care. He's not our president. No offense, but you know. Right, I'm just making sure my stitches are all the way around on the needle with no twists in them. The trickiest part about socks on Magic Loop is actually getting them cast on. You can make fun of people. Yeah, well, there you go. No sympathy for the man whatsoever. Whatsoever. I mean, you know, Boris is getting slated left, right and centre because, you know, one minute he's telling you one thing, then he's telling you something else. But in that respect, he's only going on the advice of, isn't he? He's not out there making fun of people. He might be making some stupid ass decisions, but he's not making fun of people. And then you've got, you know, stop twisting. I hate working with yarn that's black because I can't see which way my stitches are going. Right, going that way. Yeah, but it's like I've said to my mum, you know, you're damned if you do when you're a world leader in that sort of situation. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't you? It doesn't matter what you say. You're going to be fucking wrong at any point, really. Oops. Just get this going properly and then I'll be alright. Sam. How you doing? Oh, did he? I didn't know he did that. This is why I don't like follow politics, because they're all shite, apparently. How you feeling after being poked and prodded and exposed and all that? Are you alright? Your ball hurts. Oh, you still you're at the Dollar Tree. Okay. So just checking my son's turned his light off. He's actually really quite good. He tends to turn it off most nights before 8:30 now. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm shocked, that it's like there's things going up on the Facebook community pages, is the Children's Soft Play Centre open and stuff like that. And even the home education groups, they're all meeting up. And I'm like, are you insane? Or do you just not care? Or... Oops, missed. Just seems like some people just really don't... Is it cockiness? Or, what is it that makes people think, well, I don't have to wear a mask and all of that lot? I don't... Yeah, maybe, but it's like... there are people here who are like, I don't have to wear a mask, I'm exempt. Right, okay, then that's fine. My mum has COPD and is, according to the government, exempt. She still wears a mask when she leaves the house. She's actually gone back into isolation because she's too fucking scared to leave the house. My phone may well ring again in a little while. Like I said, family emergency going on. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas in here. Is it? Okay. I died this yonks ago. Oh yeah, keep the chin warm. I did start a yarn dyeing business way back when, and I thought it'd be something I would really enjoy doing, but it's really hard work. Actually, I was quite shocked at how hard it was, and I didn't have a huge amount of sales. I probably sold about 10 skeins, I think it was, but I did yarn and fibre for a while, so yeah, that one was also mine. I also dyed that very, very pink very, very pink one. You still have some fluff you bought from me? Yeah. I don't watch South Park. It's the voices, I can't stand them. These stitches are going to be super, super tight because I've pulled the fucking yarn. They also look twisted. I must admit, I quite often start socks several times to get them around the right way, because I twist my freaking stitches every time I cast on. Yeah, I always cast on too freaking tight. Oops. So when you cast it all on, you get to the end and you go, bollocks, I twisted it. I usually just twist it slightly. Hey, Becca! How you doing there, sweetheart? Oops. So I finished the shawl. The shawl is all ready. I just need to block it, which I'm probably going to do like the night before the wedding or something like that. Which is like super exciting because it's 2 weeks away. So excited. The tattoo on my hand. I know. I love it. Isn't it great? I'm super in love with it, and I really need one on my other hand now. Oh! There is like loads of people in here. Hey, Gemma! Yeah, I need to get one on the other hand because, you know. My son got a tattoo yesterday. It's my second son, the chef. And he spent 6.5 hours in the chair. I am so freaking impressed. For a first tattoo, that's brilliant. And he basically got this massive koi fish done on his upper arm, and it must have hurt like hell because he's got no meat to him whatsoever. He is skin and bone, this child, you know. That's a child. Christ, he's 27. But do you want to see a picture? Hang on. Let me do the focusy thingy. That's what he had done. Yeah, wow. 6.5 hours. I sent him a message last night and I was like, Tattooist has just posted a picture. Is that your arm? And he was like, yeah. And he sent me a photo. I was like, dude, that is amazing. And he said, yeah. He said, I'm really pleased with it. But he's got like little skulls. My daughter was telling me, like, you can just see one there. like all mixed in with it. The tattooist has added skulls in, and I said, how was it? And he was like, he said after about 5 hours I really started to hurt. He was like, but I gritted my teeth and powered through it. And I was like, cool. You're going to get another one? He was like, yeah, we've already discussed what I'm having on the other arm. That's my boy. So, yeah. I was well proud of him. Oh, dear. I cannot see this yarn for love nor bloody money. It's so dark on the black bits. I'll be alright once I get past this initial casting on. Yeah, I know he's really, really pleased with it. I don't know how he's coping though, because he's a chef. And, you know, can you imagine working in a hot kitchen with a brand new tattoo? Whew. Welcome back, Vic. It took like 10 seconds. I saw the pain you could stand. Oh, yeah. Wow. He's been wanting one for ages, and it was his birthday in June, and we were all like, what do you want for your birthday? He's like, oh, a gift voucher for tattooists. All right then. So we all clubbed together and like give him 75 quid in the end. He was so chuffed. I don't know how much that actually cost him, that one, but, you know. It was an all day, so probably a few hundred. You have a mini Viking as well? Are we drowning in drool in here? This is not a good thing. Okay, so we are now on row 2. Okay.
Oh no, it's your mom calling.
Fuck's sake! Sorry.
What does she want?
Be right back.
What does she want?
Sorry about that. Oh yeah, no, I found that ringtone years ago, and it goes like, "What does she want? What does she want?" And it gets like more and more drastic. My daughter's goes, "It's your daughter on the phone," ringing and ringing all day long, and all this and I usually end up dancing to it and don't answer the phone. And the boys, it's just like it's a similar one to that, but not quite so frantic. Going, your son is trying to contact you on your cellular device or something like that. You know, it's just like okie doke. Let's move that one out of the way. Okie dokie. But yeah, I've had that for years. So, right. Are you watching, Al? Am I close enough, or do I need to like come up here a little bit? Let me adjust my focus. Right. Okay. You don't need a special one because you say, oh well. Okay, so that's in its. Okay, so go in like that. Your yarn is already in place. You see it? So your yarn is already going up the front of the stitch. If you hold like this, so you go in through the stitch and the yarn is already there. Yeah? Now you can either just scoop it like that. I move this finger to help me. Maybe I need more scoopy games. Okay? So it goes in and the yarn is already in place. Go round. Like that. Can you see? So you do your 2 knit stitches. Bring your yarn to the front. Put it in and your yarn is already going over the front. So it goes round the back like that. I twist sort of at the wrist when I do it. And I bring it, as I finish my knit stitch, I bring it automatically to the front with my needle. So it goes like that. Like that. And then as I go off to do the knit stitch, it's already in place at the back because I ping it off. I suppose you could say I use the yarn to help ping the stitch off the needle. Because I go like that. I move this needle more than I do this needle when I slide my stitches up and down the needle. Okay, so I go, yeah, it quite possibly is because you wrap the other way. You go that way, and that just feels fucking odd. I can't even tension that. Right. So you've got your yarn in front, okay? I can't see the stitch with the yarn like that. Okay, so your yarn would come up like that. Tip your hand, your left hand towards you to aid the wrapping. Okay? Because the way you were wrapping it is you were going that way around. You want to go over the front and round the back, like so. These are Knit Pro circular needles. It's very, very odd knitting with the yarn at the back like that, Al. You weirdo. Sorry, but this just it's got to be wrapped the normal way. But you can do it because I've just shown you could do it. So yeah, that's how you do it. See, I used to like my Knit Pro circulars, and then I moved on to ChowGoo, and they just feel so much more pointier. So I use ChowGoo needles now. I really, really like them. But I was a full-on like Knit Pro fan when I got back into knitting. But I discovered ChowGoo about 7 or 8 years ago. You're weird, yes. Well, of course you are. That's what makes it fun. Right. When I'm doing magic loop, I tend to do about 3 rounds. And I know where the end of it is because if the tail and my needles are all pointing towards my right hand, so my needles and there's my tail's at the front, then I'm at the end of a round. So I've done 2 rounds, okay? So I'll do another round and then I'll show you how we do the magic loop. You have circs for anything round, hats, etc. You use, you have circs but for anything round you use hats, etc. See, I use circs for everything. You know, I mean, my mum, we were talking about straight knit needles, weren't we, in your stream, Elle? My mum taught me to knit, and my mum, like Elle, holds her yarn in her right hand, and she does what we call throwing the yarn. And she always used to knit on straights, you know, and she used to wedge the needle up under an arm and all that, like, you know. But she taught me to knit, and I had the basics, I suppose you could say, from about the age of 6. And I didn't really do much with it. And then when I was 15, I went to visit a friend of mine, and I was pregnant with my eldest at the time as well, and her mum was knitting away furiously in the corner, you know. And I was like, oh, I really, really like whatever it is that you're knitting. And we got chatting about it and all that lot. And I said, oh, you know, my mum taught me to knit, but I haven't knit anything in yonks. Hang on, I've partially dropped that stitch there. Oh well. And it just sort of re-sparked the interest, because my mum had stopped knitting like years before, just due to work and whatever else, and it kind of just re-sparked the interest. And yeah, I went out and bought, you know, yarn and straight needles and, oh god, what were they called? Was it clover? Is that right? Am I thinking of clover needles? God, what we were all using way back in the fucking 90s and that, you know. And you know, me being me, because I don't do anything by halves, I made a massive jumper for my partner. Pony, that was the one. And yeah, it had cables, a rib, and, you know, all these various different things. And yeah, I sort of did that in, took me about a month, I suppose, this jumper. And then I knit loads of stuff for the baby and all that lot. And I knit probably for a couple of years, and then I stopped. And then a friend of mine, I joked with her and I said, I had this dream that you're going to have another baby. She already had 3 boys. And she was like, no, I'm bloody not. And I was like, yeah, you are. And it's going to be a little girl. And I knew everything about this. I was absolutely, and I was like, you are having another baby and it will be a girl. And about 3 months later, she phoned me up. She went, you fucking bitch. And I said, you're pregnant? And she said, yeah. I was like, it'll be a girl. And I got back into knitting, and she bought me an entire set of Knit Pro interchangeable needles, which I just thought was really, 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 really good. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36. So I've got 8 that I need to move around. I also, on the last round, make sure that I have the equal amount of stitches on both front and back. So, God, your pony needles, blunt as hell they were, weren't they? And I loved the Knit Pros when I got them because they were sharp, and I loved the idea of interchangeable needles, and yeah, I thought that was the absolute bee's knees. And I stuck with Knit Pro for years, even when I don't know, I seemed to get a bad batch at one point. All the cables kept breaking, and oh God, it pissed me right off. You sort of say, yeah, I know. But yeah, they were great. For those of you who are wondering what interchangeable needles are, I don't know when they came about, but interchangeable needles basically mean you have a set of needles like this. I'll get a chunky one out so you can see. So you have the needle tips, okay, and then you get cables which you screw on to the back of your, and you can choose whatever length cable you like. So if you're only working on, say, like a hat, you can choose a small cable. If you're working on something quite big, you can choose a longer cable. And the good thing about them is that you literally just have to change the ends off of the cables to do it. And you know, I got this entire set. These were a little bit more expensive than the Knit Pro ones, but I do love my Chow Goose, I must admit. Wesley Snipes used them in Blade, didn't he? I bloody love Blade. That was a brilliant film. Oh, diddling. Sorry about that. Knit Pro Circulars and a collection of DPNs from thrift stores. See, I don't like DPNs. I never have done. Never have done. I don't know why. I mean, I can, you know, I can knit with them. It's not an issue there. You've never used DPNs. Yeah, no, they're a pain in the bum. DPNs are your bay. Yeah, I know. How many sets you got? I've probably got, because I use 2.25 and I always use the same length for socks. I've probably got about 10 sets of circulars, just so I can have lots of socks on the go. Okay, so you get to the end of round 3 and what you do is you put those down. I've been working from the centre of the pull ball. I'm going to turn that over and put it down. I'm now going to work from the outside of the ball on my other set of needles. Mini Fix says good night. Circulars are good, and you see if you see. I would have thought DPNs would have been more preferable in the middle of New York. Anybody comes near you, stab them. P and tea time. Okie doke. Okay, babe, take it easy. Speak soon. 2, 6, 8, 40. My dog is snoring. I apologise if you can hear her. E. 2. You knit all your hats on DPNs. See, anything round, I knit via magic loop. Because, you know, I can just see me, like, losing a fucking DPN or something. Did that a lot when I first started knitting socks, and I knit them on DPNs and all of that lot, because that was the way everybody seemed to do it. But that was before I discovered magic loop. And then when I discovered 2 at a time magic loop, I was like, yes, second sock syndrome is a thing of the past, because it was real. Okay. No, I know you're not. I started out on 2 circs. That was the way I started. And it worked really, really well. And then somebody said, well, why don't you try magic loop? And I was like, well, what the fuck is that? And I YouTubed it like you do. I was like, wow, that's bloody good, isn't it? So it took me a while to click onto it that you didn't need to keep moving your loops, you know, that they sort of stayed at either end. Because I thought, well, that's a pain in the ass, you've got to keep moving that around. And then I realised what it was that I was doing, and I was like, oh, you know, that moment of sort of epiphany, as it were. Yeah, I've watched you. Don't think you could ever learn to knit. You'd love to learn to crochet. Grandmother crocheted all the time. Beautiful things. Try teaching. Yeah, like I said, my mother taught me to knit when I was a kid, and I picked it back up when I was a teenager, and I taught myself to crochet out of the Reader's Digest book of needlework. I've still got that book, and I made this fantastic, like, long waistcoat when I was pregnant. And it was great because it fit so nicely over my bump, and it went all the way down to my knees. It was really, really good. I find knitting socks is a great conversation starter. The amount of times I've been sat in the doctor's office, and when you get somebody who looks like me sitting there knitting socks, it doesn't have to get the old people sort of like, are you knitting socks, young lady? Yes, I am. Well, I haven't seen that since I was a nipper and my mum used to knit socks. I used to hold the yarn for her and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Yeah, I make my kids do that. Look, dear, look at that young girl over there knitting socks. Well, it's been a while since it's been a young girl, but, you know. But I tell you, go grab yourself a hook and some yarn and get on YouTube. There are so many tutorials and shit out there. You can crochet blankets is all you do. You love it. It's so therapeutic. I like crochet because it builds quick, you know, especially if you're making blankets and that. Although, you know, I watched one of Elle's crafting streams the other night and now I want to try another EPP quilt. So this is all your fault. But I need some decent templates. I did download some printable ones, but it's printing them up on something that's heavy enough to withstand the abuse I will give it. When do you remove your English piece, your English piece, your paper pieces? So I was going to ask you. Do you remove them like after you've sewn all the hexies together, or once you've sort of sewn it around the hexie? But what are you doing with your subscriber blanket? Are you like, is the paper still inside each hexie? Because some people sort of remove them as they go, don't they? Once you've done like a cluster. Yeah. I must get on and print some hexagons and have a go. Did you hear about Cat? I never know how to pronounce her surname. Bordy? You're going to scoot for now. I need to work on channels to actually keep up with this, among other things. Okay, sweets. Yeah, I couldn't believe that when I read that she was so ill. I read fast. I should be a book reader. I'd buy that audiobook. I can't do that because when I start reading, I start yawning. It's awful. I could never read storybooks to my kids when they were little because I would literally get like 3 or 4 sentences in, and just the thought of it now, I just want to yawn now. And I would start yawning. It's dreadful. I can't read a book aloud because I literally just start yawning my head off. Because I'd love to do that otherwise. But yeah. And I don't know what it is. It's like, you know, because they all say, yeah, do you read your kid at night? And I'm like, nope. I send him upstairs and, you know, he's got books upstairs. He's quite welcome to read to himself if he wants, you know. For those of you that don't know and weren't here right at the beginning of my stream, Daryl is my youngest of 5 children. My other 4 children are all adults in their 20s. My oldest just turned 29. And Daryl is going to be 6 next month. My daughter is getting married in 2 weeks' time and is pregnant with my very first grandchild. Yeah, I use audio books usually at night and when I'm out walking. Daryl is he's adorable. Bless his heart. He's a really, really good kid. He likes to join my streams just at the beginning. He says hi to everybody, and those that come into my Wednesday streams when I do my bullet journaling, they give him kisses in chat and that, and he loves it. And then he goes away and he's quite happy and he goes to bed. But yeah, I've never read to my children because I start yawning. It's so embarrassing. Do you do that as well? I'm so glad I'm not the only one, because people are saying, oh yes, well, I took my kid to bed and I read 2 stories and now they're asleep, and I'm like, mine get night, see you later. That's it, get a kiss and a hug, and yeah, go on off you fuck, as it were. And yeah, I never read. I get Daryl to read to me and that's it. Oh, he did really, really well the other day. He must have been quite bored listening to us chinwag. Bless his heart. Have I wound that around the needle? Yeah, I have. But he is a good lad. He's a good lad. Cannot read. Yeah, I'm the same. Even the thought of it now, I'm wanting to yawn. But I love listening to audiobooks because I used to listen to them all the time and I used to go out walking. I don't now because I've always got Daryl with me. I started homeschooling in September. Love the dinosaur. Yeah. So I really only get to listen to them when I'm on my own. But he knows that I listen to them at night to go to sleep. And he says to me, when you go to bed tonight, Mummy, can I come and get in your bed? And can we put an audiobook on? And I'm like, yeah, sure, you know. And I quite often listen to crime fiction. And he goes to sleep listening to the most dreadful things sometimes. But I always used to put an audiobook on when we went out walking. And I had a bicycle phone clip that I clipped onto the handlebar of the pushchair. And the first time we went out without it. We got like 5 minutes down the path because we used to walk along. There's a huge walk here along the river, and it's the old railway track, old steam railway track, and it covers about 12 miles. It's brilliant, and you can sort of drop in on it at various different points along the way. And we got walking, and he said to me, "You have to your phone." I was like, "What?" Well, your phone. You have to make the phone do the thing. Bearing in mind he was only like 2 at the time. And I was like, what, you mean the audiobook? And he was like, yeah, audiobook. So I was like, oh, okay. And he just had it in his head that whenever we were out walking, I had to put an audiobook on because I always did, you know. And when we go out along the river and that, I used to put it on speaker. And we used to walk through the countryside listening to like Stephen King and because, you know, my kids grow up listening to the most god-awful shit, but, yeah, well. But yeah, he says to me at night now, when you go to bed, can I come get in your bed? And we'll put an audiobook on. So I'm like, yeah, alright then. So, hey Rita, how's it going? If I ever do let you know. Oh, okay. I'd have to read like 2 sentences at a time and then stop and go and have a nap. Am I starting another short? No, I am starting socks. In the knitting community, there is a thing in October called Socktober. And that's what this is. Everybody picked the yarn at the beginning of the stream. Well, they voted. Some of my audiobooks are recorded anyway, sentence at a time. This is some sort of weird punctuation. Goes in, chops all together, but you read really fast. I like reading really fast because sometimes I get lost. Ready to speeds high. You can increase speed on like on Audible. You can like increase the speed that you listen to it. Because my mum does that. She says to me, she's currently going through like the Jack Reacher books, and she said the reader slowed right down on a couple of them. So she said, you know, can you make it faster? Yeah. So yeah, she found that much more helpful because she's a speed reader too. My whole family are. Yeah, that's why I can read the same books over and over and over and over again, because I skim through it. Yeah, because your brain fills it in. Not been able to do any reading for a while though, because my eldest, he and I have been going through like the Arrowverse, so I've literally had no time to sit and read. Because get up in the morning, have my tea, catch up on fucking social media, then it's, you know, schooling and whatever it is I'm doing that day. And then by the time all that's done, it's evening and my eldest is here going, oh, are we watching Arrow? And I'm like, oh, okay. And then by the time he leaves, I'm off to bed now. So my poor Kindle hasn't been switched on in a couple of weeks now. Goodreads informed me this morning that I'm behind on the 2021 challenge. Lurking. But why? Why would you get told off for it? That's what makes it so exciting that you can go back and reread a book. Okay. Enjoy your salad. I don't eat salad. Unless it's a Caesar salad. I like Caesar salad. Went into TK Maxx and got an A5 Kiki K cover. Wow! That's bloody good. Bet you're chuffed to pieces about that. Right, so I've done 3 rounds per stock. Do you know, I never go in TK Maxx. Isn't it funny? It's just one of those stores that I never seem to go into when I go shopping. We do have one, finally, here on the island. It was built a couple of years ago. But, yeah, I just never got around to it. So, to Magic Loop. Well, 2 at a time Magic Loop. I now work half a round. So much craft stuff on sale. See, I'm going to have to go and have a look now. It's like everybody's like gushing over the range at the moment, but the range here is rubbish. No, I never find good stuff anywhere. I didn't even know TK Maxx did craft stuff actually. Thought they were just clothes and handbags. So, now I bring the other sock back in. And knit it onto this needle next to the first half of the other sock. Sorry about the needle hitting the thing. It's annoying. I found as well, if you leave your yarn ball upside down so that the yarn from the centre is coming out of the bottom, it doesn't tend to get tangled. Your yarn won't get tangled. Oh! I almost saw that light bulb from here. The one that just went on over your head. Do I use a contraption to reball your yarn? Yes, I use a ball winder, which makes this nice little yarn ball or yarn cake, whatever you want to call it, and then I knit from either end of the same ball. Okay, so one sock is coming from the second sock I cast on is coming from the outside, and the first sock I cast on is coming from the inside of the ball, because this winds a centre pull ball. So you can see there I've got the yarn coming from here, this yarn here. If you put it upside down with your centre yarn coming from underneath, it will stop it tipping over. And then you just really got to be just careful about how you cross your thing. Once I've gotten rid of this other needle, it'll be a bit easier to explain. Your friend used to make his yarn from sheep's wool by hand. He had this crazy contraction. That sounds about right, yeah. Yeah, my ball winder's still attached to a table over there at the moment. Once October's out the way, I'm going to have to start getting baby stuff. Although baby's due in like April, so it's not going to need much in the way of warm weather gear, is it? I'm so excited. Can't believe the wedding's in 2 weeks. Knit ahead for the following winter. Exactly. Blankets and hats and... Although she's probably going to use a wrap, you know, or a sling like I did. So baby will be plenty warm. But she still needs blankets for the cot, right? So ickle baby socks. Right, now I have finished with that needle and I can drop it. Recently got a powered loom and he thinks he's all that in a bag of Cheetos now because he can make outfits really fast. Yeah, I considered weaving for quite a while, but I know what I'm like, and if I bought a loom, I would want a big one. I don't have room for a big loom. The bastards take forever to fucking warp them up, or whatever it is you fucking call it, and I just don't have the patience for all that. And I'd probably never get beyond doing scarves. good fun to play. Yeah. Yeah, his is like the size of a small dog. Yeah. You can get massive, massive looms. So your socks that you cast on, are they just for stream knitting, or are you going to work on them off stream as well? Or have you been working on them off stream as well? You've got a rigid head orb, but it's still packed. You love your inkle looms. You've got 24-inch loom. Does take a while to... Yeah. Yeah. But I would so want to... I would want a large one. Yeah, definitely. Do you use it a lot, Dork? I mean, do you... Have you always got something on it? And is it like knitting and spinning? Do you sometimes just weave for the hell of it, or do you weave with a project in mind? Because I am a for the hell of it type spinner. You know, I don't spin with a project in mind. I rarely spin with a project in mind. Use that. Okay, so now I have 2 socks on 1 sack. You're knitting on them right now. Cool. See, that's the other reason I don't do DPNs, because I get second sock syndrome. Yeah, I mean, when I use my wheel, I very rarely spin with a project in mind. I usually buy 2 lots of matching floof. So usually I buy 200 grams or 200 gram bats, 2 100 gram bats, or 2 100 gram braids or something. You get second Michelin's. That's why I do 2 at a time magic loop. But quite often I spin and then I go, ooh, I could use that. But I tend to spin mostly lace weight, which is a pain in the ass. I was tempted years ago to try that method of knitting 2 at a time on DPNs, where you knit one inside the other. Have you tried that? Anybody tried that? But I just know I would tangle a stitch somewhere and be so pissed off. It's double knitting without joining the 2 together. Did you try it? How did it go? Did you tangle anything? So that would really annoy me if I got to the end and they were tangled. Yeah, but I don't sell what I spin, so could do, I suppose, but then I don't spin enough because you end up stretching stitches. One sock is like, oh, okay. You have to chain or 3-ply all of your handspun to get a light thing. Yeah, so do I. That's what I do. Your go-to is 45 rats per inch on single, so yeah, 2 plies of lace weight for you. Yeah, that's exactly what I do. I end up 3 or 4 plying quite a lot of what I spin. But I get my wheel out once Socktober is passed. Oh, I did comment on your Instagram about being... You said the fingering word and I had to allow it. About joining your Discord, please, for Socktober. Pretty please. Yes. Twitch thought you were being sexual to me then for a moment. By saying fingering. Thank you. Got it. Thank you. Sam is learning the ways of Discord. Sam is struggling. Sam has come to the realisation that she's now one of those old farts that goes to her children, how do you make this work? Because Sam doesn't have the faintest fucking idea. So I keep saying to my son, I want Twitch to do this because I've seen it on somebody else's channel. And he sits there and he rolls his eyes and he goes, really, Mum? And I'm like, yes. Why doesn't my Twitch do that? It's awful, isn't it? Yeah, I'm like, Alex. And he's like, I don't fucking know. He said, that's why I'm just a simple gamer streamer. You know, he doesn't have bells and whistles. He has little emojicons, or whatever the fuck you call them. He's got his own little one, you know. And he made affiliate briefly, but not for very long. And yeah, he's like, I don't do all that fancy shit. And I'm like, oh, okay. What is all this that somebody's got on their screen? And you get like, oh, he did have a bit boss for a while, but he didn't bother that because he didn't get. You had to watch like 20 hours of videos to figure out how you do your thing on Twitch to get yours to do your thing on YouTube. My brain's just fried. You've been trying to get GiftBot to work on Streamlabs, but it's a no. So now you've got to set up OBS. Right? See, I find I can do more in Streamlabs than I can on OBS. But I can't record for some reason. If I record, I can record, but if I record and then shunt it through to iMovie, iMovie crashes. It does that. So I've got to have both programs because iMovie doesn't like stuff that is recorded via Streamlabs. But it does through OBS. That might be why you still have a blog rather than a stream. I do miss my blog, I must admit. But it seemed a bit daft to have a blog and a journal that I write in. Just doing the same things, you know. My blog's still out there in the blogosphere somewhere or other. That's on Blogspot, I think. But yeah, I see some of these streamers and they've got all this stuff on their screen and I'm like, what's that? And what's that do? And how do I get mine to do that? A lot of course, is like only affiliate-based stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay. And my son's like, you're not that famous, Mum. You can't have that. And I'm like, oh, okay. You don't miss... Yeah, so you podcasted for a while, didn't you? Because you had that mic that plugged into the end of your iPhone. I remember that. Because I was like, that is such a cool doohickey. But then I've always kept a journal and I just saw a blog as a journal, really. It just happened to be online rather than in front of me. Oh, excuse me. It's because I've drunk cola. Yours is a craft/travel diary, mainly for me. Well, that's it. but I was always worried that, you know, it, being online, that it could potentially disappear, you know. Now, you asked, Elle, about laddering on Magic Loop. What I do is pull all my little sockies into place. Okay. Obviously the yarn is at the back, yeah. Hang on. Okay. So the yarn is on the cord rather than on the needle. So what I do, when I always make sure the first stitch on the needle is a knit stitch, okay? When you do it, pull it super tight so that it is tight on the cord. Okay, I know some people are like, oh, but I'll never get it on the needle, but you will, because the tension will even out after you've done it. But your first couple of stitches, you just pull them tight, 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 and then you keep going. And then when it comes time to slide those stitches up onto the needle, they're super tight on there at the moment, but the rest of the tension will even out. It's a bit like when you block it and it moves everything into place. And that's exactly what happens with Magic Loop. See, I get a ladder on DPNs because the DPN you're going from is the same size as the needle you're going through, so I can't pull it like extra tight, as it were. And I used to get a ladder. I remember the first pair of socks I made on DPNs, I was so pissed off because I got to the end of it and I had 4 little ladders, because I like using the square rather than a triangular system on DPNs. Sorry about the shrugging, I keep leaning on my hair. So I used to use 5 rather than 4, and yeah, I would get to the end and I would have these 4 little ladders going down the side. You prefer 2 circulars over Magic Loop? Yeah, it is the same. So like I said earlier, I started out on 2 circs when I switched from the DPNs, and I started out on 2 circs, and then I sort of discovered Magic Loop and I was like, oh, that just makes things so much easier. Naughty Bunny 81, hello, welcome to my stream. How are you? I'm good, thank you. Starting my Socktober socks. Finished my daughter's wedding shawl last night, which is cool. Can't wait to block it and see it on her. And there's part of me that's like rather glad I left it until like the last minute, because now I haven't got to wait for ages to see it worn, do you know what I mean? So you've been making lots of hats. Awesome. I don't wear hats because I have all of this, yeah, and my head itches if it gets too hot because I have psoriasis. So for ages I was like, well, what can I do, because my head and my ears get cold, which sparks off migraines. I'm a medical fucking dictionary, me. And I made a hat without a top. And then what I do is I put my hair up in a big bun on top and it sticks out the top of my hat. It's really cool. And it's a double knitted hat as well, so it's reversible, which is really, really awesome. But you'll use 9-inch circs, DPNs and 2 circs. Yeah, those are the little itty bitty circs, aren't they? The 9-inch ones. Yeah, I tried those and I was like, I can't get hold of them. There wasn't enough to get hold of. I just stick with the same. I think these are 80 centimetre circs and they work well for Magic Loop. So you've yet to make any socks but worsted weight. The lighter weight socks are the death of me. But they stand up to wear and tear a lot better than the worsted weight ones do. If you can get down to sort of fingering weight, sock weight yarn, you know, it makes a tougher fabric. Night Vic! Thank you for joining and for the follow. Really appreciate it. I'm going to come and watch your little nightmare doohickey thing at some point. If you're still playing it, that is. I love those little yarn ball emojis. Those are so cute. So that's the awful thing. If I get to it that I'm going to need shit like that, I don't know how to do anything like that. Those are adorable. Daryl thought your you know, your little one that sits down in the corner, Elle, whose name I can't remember now. I want to say Ernest, but that's not right, is it? Your little, it looks like Jack Skellington on a bad day. Cyril, that's it. Yeah, your little Cyril. Daryl thought that was fucking brilliant. He was like, what's that? And I went, it's a yarn ball. And he went, but it has eyes. And I was like, yeah, I know. And he was like, make it move. So I can't make it move, darling. It's just a picture. But it's really cool. I was like, yeah, I know. he was most taken with that. He kept coming in to watch your stream, and I took a photo, actually. I think I posted it of him sitting in the chair with his Thomas blanket wrapped around him. Yeah, I posted that in chat. Because he was just like, he just kept watching your stream waiting for this fucking Cyril ball to move. It was brilliant. I was like, oh, bless. I popped him in Discord. Yeah, I thought I did. Yeah, look at me doing pictures in Discord. Not bad at all at all. It's 10 to 10. So, what you working on at the moment then, Naughty Bunny? Is it lots of hats? Are you making anything else? I've got a cardigan that I've been doing for my mum for frickin' ages, and it's brioche knitting. And I've undone it and redone it so many times because getting the sizing right with brioche knitting is pissing hard. And then I put the bloody thing down for ages and forget where I am in it. And I think she's come to the realisation she's probably never going to get that cardigan. So I'm going to have to make her something else. Because I'm like done. It's very rarely I won't finish a pattern, but I'm so fed up with that sodding pattern now. And then I'm like, you're not allowed to gain any weight, mother, because otherwise it won't fit around your arms. So it's tedious. But then you like cross stitch and stuff like that. See, I never liked the point of cross stitch because I was like, you do your stitch that way, yeah, and you do cut it, but then you've got to go back over it to do the stitch the other way. Brioche is like that. You knit a row, and you do that on circs as well. So you knit your row with one colour yarn, and then you slide your stitches to the other end of the thing and pick up your second colour yarn and, you know, do whatever the pattern requires you to do then. It's a pain in the fucking ass. It really is. I mean, it makes a lovely texture. It really does. Hi, Amy. But you're knitting the same row twice. It's a bit of a pain. And yet I don't feel that way about double knitting. Did you ever see the scarves, Elle? The Star Wars scarves. Yeah, so I've got one of them. So you just started cross stitch after not doing it for 25 years. I've never been into cross stitch. I did tapestry when I was pregnant with Callie, but I've never been into cross stitch. Needed something different. I don't need another hobby. I don't want to be doing another hobby. That's exactly why I stayed away from weaving. If I start weaving, God, I can't afford another hobby. It's so nice to just be knitting socks. Yeah, I expect you are. You don't fancy permanent van life then? A lot of people sort of seem to do that when they retire, don't they? They sell up and then just bugger off in a van. I wonder how hard that's been for people during COVID. You know, people that live in... I'm not talking about travellers, I'm talking about, you know, people that have retired and sort of seem to spend all their time travelling around in a van. Used to going back to work. Socks that soothe the soul, they do. Because they're a small project as well, it's I've got so many sock patterns as well that I need to work through. Which I might use that purple sparkly yarn on a pattern. I don't like doing pattern socks with variegated yarn because you lose the pattern a lot of the time. But it's really hard to find decent plain sock yarn. And that is, you know, semi-solid, isn't it? So that would probably knit up into a pattern quite nicely, especially with the sparkle. A lot of full-timers got a lot of stick during lockdown. People thought, yeah, I expect they did. You're off to do a live. Okay, sweets, take it easy. Dog is sprawled in her bed. Sorry, I've just got to answer a text a minute. Yeah, it must be really, really hard for those that are full-time. Because I know when we were holidaying in the States, in Europe, we met quite a few people that had, you know, become full-time in their vans. It never occurred to me until sort of just recently that they must be finding it quite hard. It's not like you could just, if you're full-time, it's not like you can just think, oh well, we'll just go home for a bit, because, you know, you've usually sold up to be able to afford to be able to go full-time. I'm hoping to get a new to me car next year. Yeah, something from a dealer, but not a brand new car. And take a road trip next year, maybe. Me and Daryl go and do camping. Yeah, I it's a big step, isn't it, to sell your house and everything as well. Yeah, well, we looked at a car several months ago, and I really, really liked it. It was a Citroen, and I really liked it. And he was like, yeah, you know, you'll get like 45 miles to the gallon, especially if you go up on the mainland. I was like, awesome. Yeah, that's it. I want that one. But we couldn't afford to buy it at the time. So my mum sort of said, you know, in the new year, maybe we can look at buying it. So I'm like, okay, cool. But yeah, once I've got it, I was thinking might just get a wee tent, me and Daryl, and go visiting. I was going to visit Helen, because Helen's not met Daryl, but she ain't going to be there. So, yeah. How rude. Make sure enough broom... Yeah, right. I know. Best of luck to him. I think that's fab. I know. She's always said about, you know, they've been out and they've... Is it his family that's out there? Just awesome that Ian's managed to get a job out there, really. Yeah. Do you see much of her nowadays, or I don't know sort of how close you are in relation to where you used to live as to where you live now, sort of thing, and whether you sort of get to see her or no. That's a shame. Alright, okay. Well, I might just have to come visit you guys then. Meet that Ginge you've got a bit of a thing for. Yeah. Not that I remember. Long time ago. I only went to that twice. And then no, I didn't, because you think about it, Daryl's 6, just coming up for 6. So no, I probably didn't. You're talking about that little shop in can't remember now. Like cute little village. Is that one? I remember going to a shop, but I only went a couple of times. Yeah. Is that the one? Did I go to that one? I can't remember. You go over the bridge, and then the road bends up and round to the right. Is that right? Am I thinking of the right place? Because there was a swan nesting under the bridge, and the river was going higher and higher and higher, and we were all worried about whether the nest would survive. Yeah. Cute place. Yeah, gorgeous place. Yeah, I went there a couple of times. I don't remember meeting Adam. I think that was, well, that was just after I moved to Romsey, that. Because I think I caught the train on one journey, and then I bought a car on another. Yeah. So I don't think I met him. I don't know if you were with him then. I moved to Romsey in... See, well, Daryl was born in 2014. 2012? So I think it was just before you and he got together then. Yeah. Yeah, see, I don't think you had the yarn store at the time. Because I remember lugging my wheel. Because I had to park and lug my fucking wheel all the way over that bridge and up the bloody road to the shop. It was heavy. I didn't know you'd actually taken that over. All right, okay. I'm too lazy to be self-employed. Because I would just get up in the morning and go, yeah, I can't be bothered going today. Because I'm like that. Yeah. I would have too many I can't be bothered days. Because bakery just down the road, wasn't there? Well, that's it. you know, you've got people that rely on you, and where you're not your own boss, if you fuck up, somebody else is going to phone you and shout at you, aren't they? So because you're a manager, aren't you? Shop manager. Yeah, cool. Right, I think we should call it a night, don't you? It's getting late. It's 10 o'clock. I know, God. I guess he's not going to be asking you for a reference anytime soon. She did. Don't go there. He walked. Literally just walked out. What a prick. I'm going to go and grab a quick refill in my Coke glass because I'm really, really thirsty. And I made a new BRB screen just for Craft Live nights. So get a load of this. How smexy is that? Good, eh? Yes, I was well impressed with that. And those are all projects of mine, I might add. I knitted or spinded all of them. Hang on, I'll just pull it back up so you can have a look. The green in the middle top, I spun that and knit it. Yeah, the green shawl actually was one that I did that during Tour de Fleece, and I gave that shawl to Claire. Beautiful, massive mandala. The orange shawl was Vernal Equinox, and I made that for my mum. The big shawl pinned to the bed on the bottom right was a knit along, and I can't remember what it is. I want to say Victoria's Secret, but that's an underwear shop, isn't it? It's something like that. The socks in the bottom left are Same But Different. I can't remember what they're called. Same But Different yarn by the Knitting Goddess, and the socks are like opposites of each other. So where you do 2x2 rib, you end up doing like garter stitch rows and that kind of thing. Socks up in the top right hand corner, I'm pretty sure that's a Zalba ball, I might be wrong. And then the purple, which is under the chat window, is a blanket that I am currently working on, that I haven't worked on in ages, so I need to get on with that. So there you go, I did all of them. Yeah, it is when is it a Knitting Goddess one that you've got? I got the purple and black one. I really, really liked it. And it looked really good. I don't think I've still got it. I think the socks died because I wore them so much. And I can't remember what the bloody socks are called. But yeah, you do like sort of an inch and a half of 2x2 rib on like your left sock. And on your right sock, you do 5 rows of purl, 5 rows of knit, 5 rows of purl, 5 rows of knit, you know, until you've done the same amount, and then you swap over. And they and I just thought that would be really, really cool if I did it in her Same But Different yarn, so that one sock was one colour and one design, and the other sock was another colour and another design. So I thought that was quite clever. But I wore them to death because they were really nice, really comfy as well. So yeah. Yes, her assistant Mange walked out. What a prick. What an absolute prick. She said lots of bad words. She did. And you're missing date night as well. Ego the size of Texas. Yeah. Sounds like it. And then you've got to miss date night because you've got stuff to sort out because you don't have a assistant. I miss living on the mainland. I really do. I hate living back here. I moved back here because, you know, having another kid, it was just like, this is the safest place to live. For those of you that don't know, I live in the UK and I live on a wee island at the very, very bottom of the UK map called the Isle of Wight. And it's frickin' tiny. Okay, it's 25 miles roughly by about 15 miles. It's, you know, it's minuscule. Absolutely minuscule. But the ferry to get to the mainland is extortionate, and it is the most expensive stretch of water in the world. It works out at to get across. You can go over on the hovercraft, passenger ferry, or the car ferry. At the moment, if I want to... Oh, well, Sue, you still here, love? What was your car ferry cost last time you came over, if you don't mind? Oh, bless her heart. Big box chocolates. People don't mind doing it, provided they're recognised, innit? Well, you know that. I mean, the car ferry to get off of here is absolutely extortionate. Sue came down to the island for a holiday recently. That's why I said if she doesn't mind telling you how much it costs, but that's up to her. And at the moment, due to COVID, it used to be that the passenger ferry you could just turn up and get on. Okay, you have to book the car ferry preferably, or you could risk turning up and seeing if they've got any space. Now you've got to book everything. You've got to book passenger ferry and the car ferry, and the websites are crap. Do you mind sharing how much your ferry ticket was to come here? Roughly. Doesn't have to be exact. And there's no fixed link, so there's no bridge, there's no tunnel. We can only get off via the ferries, you know. And then you've got somebody like my son, Matthew, who's got a heart condition, and because the hospital in Southampton is a cardiology hospital, the cardiology department require him to attend appointments there instead of here because the equipment's better, which, you know, you want that, don't you? So we end up, because it's so expensive, we end up going over as passengers and then relying on public transport, which it makes the day really fucking long, you know, because you go over there and it's like, they do their best and they usually try and get them an appointment around about the middle of the day. You know, we complained at the last one because they wanted it at 4 p.m. and I was like, not in your life, because we go in and you're usually in the hospital at least an hour, dependent on what they want to do. If they want x-rays and all that shit, it ends up being a lot longer. And then the bus journey from the hospital to the town centre is about 40 minutes. And then you've got to walk from the town centre back to the ferry, which is a 10-minute walk. And then it's like half hour on the ferry and then a 20-minute drive when you get back here. It's a long ass day for an appointment, you know. So we actually just cancelled his last appointments and said, you know, we're not coming, because the hassle of getting off the ferry and neither he nor I want to be sitting on public transport alone. £118 they go return for a 22-foot camper. And what were you here for? Was it a week? And that's cheap. Okay, she booked that through the camping club. That is fucking cheap, actually. I bought a car in Lymington just after we moved back here, so I had to go over to pick it up, and just so happened I went over on the weekend of the Isle of Wight festival. Big mistake. And I came back with the car on a Sunday night, so it was the last day of the festival, right? I had a baby with me and all that lot, and I booked a single ticket. It cost me £89 to get my car back onto the island, and I went quite ballistic at the staff, and I was like, look, I've just bought a car, I'm going home, here's my licence with my address on it, I've got a baby in the car with me, I'm not going to the fucking festival. But nope, £89 for a single one-way ticket. £89. This is why I don't go to yarn shows, Al. I can't afford to get off. Can't afford to get off the Isle of Wight because it's so expensive. You know, I loved it when I lived in Romsey. You know, wanted to go and visit somebody, I just hop in the car and go and visit. I turned up at Bex's one afternoon. Hour and a half drive. Don't mind that. I've got no issue with that at all. But if I want to go and visit somebody now, and I take the car ferry is an hour journey. So before I've even left the island, I've got to do 20 minutes to get to the car ferry, then an hour journey on the car ferry before I've even hit Southampton. And it's already cost me by that point in the region of £150 to £200. Why are they trapping it? Because they've got the monopoly. There's 2 ferry companies. You've got Red Funnel and White Link. And they're private companies. Neither are owned by the council. So yeah, they've got the monopoly. But then you think about, you know, it's like I'd love to do more yarn shows. So I was talking to Freylin's husband Mark a while ago, a couple of years ago now, on Twitter, and he was like, oh, you know, you coming up for it? And I said, yeah, I'd love to. I said, but, you know, I can't afford it, because when you take into account the cost of the ferry, yeah, and then I've got my petrol on top of that to get up to the Lake District or wherever I'm in. Lake District, you know, 300 miles away, and then I've got to find a hotel. For me to go to fucking Woolfest ends up costing 400 quid, and I haven't even bought anything. I miss living on the mainland. I really loved living in Romsey. And part of me wishes that I hadn't come back. But if I hadn't come back, then I wouldn't have had those last few years with Stuart, for a start. And, you know, a lot's happened since we came back. Callie met her partner and, you know, they're getting married and all that lot. Alex has taken and passed his security officer training. And, yeah, I didn't escape. I escaped off of here for those 18 months that I lived on the mainland. That's how I saw it. But I'm needed here now. Do you know what I mean? I got a grandbaby on the way. My mum's getting old. Her eyesight's going. You know, she needs somebody to look after her. They should give the people of the island to get free. You'd think so, wouldn't you? Yeah, you'd think so. We supposedly get a discount. Supposedly. On White Link, you get 10%. 10% if you live here. Red Funnel send out a booklet a couple of times a year with vouchers. So they'll do a thing where you can do a day return with your car for £40. And then you can do like a weekend away, 2 nights off the island with your car for, you know, however much, or, you know, you get it for a lot cheaper than what it currently is. But the vouchers aren't, just 10%. The vouchers aren't valid over certain, like they're not valid during the festival. So if I was like, you know, shit, I want to get off while the festival's going on, because it's bonkers here during festival time. Excuse me, my cola's a bit gassy. I would have to go for a week because the ferry things aren't valid for most of that week. I would have to go off the island for like 2 weeks just to get away during festival time, because the vouchers aren't valid. And it's like a lot of us who live here are like, but we don't want to be here during festival. You know, if you made it cheaper, we'd all fuck off. And you'd get a lot more custom because you've made it cheaper. There's a huge fixed link group here of people that want a bridge or a tunnel or whatever. But it's like we've said, well, first off, the bedrock in the Solent is, you wouldn't be able to put a tunnel in. It's really, really hard or something. So it'd have to be a bridge. But not only is it the most expensive stretch of water in the world, it's also one of the most busiest, because between us and the mainland, you've got the Portsmouth dockyards, which is where all the naval ships are. You've got the Southampton dockyards, which is where all the foreign stuff comes into, and that is between us and the mainland. You can sit on the beach at Ryde and watch all the cruise ships as well. They go out of Southampton. The cruise ships and the cargo ships all come in, and you can sit there and watch it, you know. So if you put a bridge in, it would have to be a big bridge. If you put a tunnel in, it's going to take them 10 years to do it, to dig through it all. And it's like we said, you know, people just, they're all like, oh yeah, we need a fixed link, It's like, well, first off, we would lose that island feel if we had that. You know, a lot of us are actually quite proud of the fact it's an island. But also, you need a lot of space at the beginning of an exit of your tunnel for something like that. You know, look at the Channel Tunnel, yeah? Where are you going to put it? As I said, we are, you know, roughly 25 by 15 miles. Where exactly are you going to put the entrance and the exit? And not only that, but has anybody asked Portsmouth or Southampton whether they want a Dirty Great Tunnel popping up in the middle of their real estate? Yes, and they would. They'd still charge us for the tunnel or the bridge. So, yeah. It's like Christmas. Can't get off on Christmas Day. They used to run like a couple of ferries on Christmas Day so that people who were coming home or going off for Christmas, you know, could travel first thing in the morning and last thing at night. But they stopped running the Christmas Day one yonks ago. Which is why we ended up with a air ambulance in the end, because we couldn't rely on the ferries. Is the Wales... Oh, what, the Severn? Is that free now? Is that? Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it? Because I went to Wales... When did I go to Wales? A couple of years ago. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, the island's got a few things going for it, you know. It's very, very little graffiti here. You know, if there's a murder here, it makes national news because it just doesn't happen. You know. See, I don't think we've discovered several species of dinosaurs here. I think, you know, if they put it in and they did like a summer toll, you know, when the season opens, because we close during winter. We're closing down now, the island, for the winter. But if they put a sort of toll on during the season, that'd be great. But it would be nice if the islanders could travel for nothing. Ain't gonna happen though. And then it's like I've said to people, well, even if we could get the government or whoever to agree to a fixed link, it's not like it's going to appear tomorrow, you know. Yeah, we are their main. We are during the winter. Yeah, the locals are the main source of income during the winter. So yeah. Oh God, that's how they're knitting up. But it's like we also have issues with getting stuff shipped here. I don't know if anybody saw my Facebook post the other day. Somebody linked to this ruler on her post. Yeah, it's a tearing ruler where you tear down the side of it and it gives you that like rough torn look. Yeah, it's called a decal edge ruler. And she linked to this company, and I went and had like £10 for the ruler. And I thought that's a bit pricey, you know. And then I wonder how much the shipping is. So I click through and there is a list of postal codes that will charge extra, right, to get the shipping. So I thought, oh, right, okay. So I thought, I'm just going to chuck it in my basket just to see how much it costs. Regular shipping to mainland UK is $6.99. So I thought, right. So then I chucked my postcode in. Oh, well, you're an offshore island. Am I fuck? Royal Mail considers us mainland UK. But yes, but because he's using a courier who has to travel over on the ferry, they wanted £26 shipping for a ruler. A piece of fucking plastic. I was like, yeah. I was like, I bulk at the $6.99 price tag, quite frankly, let alone the £26. How can you justify that amount of money? Stick it in a envelope with one of those cardboard, with one of those cardboard backs and chuck it in Royal Mail. 26 to send to, yeah, no, it wasn't. It was clear plastic. Yeah. It's what it is it's one of these, right? This is a tearing ruler, and the idea is that you put it down and you tear your paper along it, and it gives you that look that makes it look rough rather than all neat and tidy. Junk journalers love them. The only issue that a lot of us have with it is that it's solid and you can't see through it. Okay, so I was watching somebody and she found this company that do a clear one, and it's quite a nice wide one as well, so you can actually hold on to it a bit better rather than this stupid skinny thing. And yeah, it had different ways of tearing on either side, and it was probably about 3 inches wide, maybe, really long. So I thought, oh, brilliant, you know. And I was like, £10 a bit expensive, but I assume it's laser cut, you know, blah 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 blah. So I thought, you know, maybe I would splurge on it. But then when I saw the $6.99 price tag for the shipping, I was like, that's going to be absolutely outrageous to ship to me. I wouldn't pay $6.99 to get it shipped to me. I'd go fucking collect it. But then when I typed in my postcode and it said £26, I even went to their Facebook page and opened a message to say to them, how can you justify that bullshit? And then I was just like, do you know what? Close the message and fucking walk away from it before you say something you're going to end up regretting. But yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, 26 for a fucking ruler, for a plastic ruler. What was that? That is outrageous. And if you live on any of the supposed offshore islands, you would pay extortionate shipping. Because the couriers, and it annoys me because you get the couriers say, oh, well, you know, we have to pay our ferry fare. But yeah, okay, they do. But they all have deals. The courier companies, Yodel and all of that lot, all have deals with the ferry company where, you know, they get a huge discount. And not only that, but they're not coming over just to deliver that one ruler to me. They'll be coming over with a van load of shit. You know, Yodel, Hermes and all of that lot, they get deals with the ferry companies. So the fact that they're charging that much is absolute bollocks. I was just like, no, I'm not going there. But you'll be surprised how many times I look at something on eBay or Amazon, will not ship to the Isle of Wight. And I'm like, why? Stick it in with Royal Mail. Do you know what I mean? I got no issues. I got more issues with couriers than I do with Royal Mail. You do it tracked and traced with Royal Mail, and at least you know it's insured and all of that rubbish. And they don't charge extortionate prices. But couriers, yeah, well, you're on an island, love. I tend to get stuff delivered to people who live in Southampton now, and go, could you just post that over to me and I'll stick it in the post box for like a couple of quid. But it's like I bought a case for my phone, one of those battery backpack case things for your phone. I bought one of those several years ago. Amazon wouldn't deliver it here. Deliver it anywhere in the UK except offshore islands. And I was like, you're having a fucking laugh. So I said to a friend of mine, I was like, can I use your address? And she said, yeah, that's fine. I said, when it comes, don't open it. Just stick a sticker on it with my address on and just post it to me. It costed a couple of quid, I think, to post it to me. Can't buy perfume off of Amazon. I can't buy batteries off of Amazon because they won't send them. I looked at something on eBay once, a couple of years ago. Crap me up, this did. I can't even remember what it was I was looking at now. And the item itself was in Portsmouth. And he wouldn't ship here. And I was like, what the hell? Oh, you're offshore, aren't you? I was like, dude, you could wave to me if I go and stand on Ryde Seafront. No, wouldn't ship to me. Absolutely crazy. Oh dear. Oh look, I've been on for 2.5 hours. I should go to bed, really. It is becoming sleepy time. Are you getting sleepy? I won't sleep for a while yet, but I don't like mornings. I like staying up half the night and then sleeping until 10. Right, well, I will love you all and leave you then. Now that I have my little rant. You got to be doing things, I know. I know. Once you're awake, that's it. No, see, I'm one of those people that you get into bed and I have restless legs and my back's in spasm and it takes me bloody ages to get comfortable. And then I don't sleep very well until that like last hour or so. And I wake up and I'm warm and I'm comfortable and I don't want to get out of bed. Daryl and I have this lovely little tradition where we come down, we have breakfast, I have a cup of tea, you know. And then when we go upstairs to do teeth and get dressed, we jump back into bed for a quick cuddle. It's great. Your mate tracks us out. Alright, sweets. See you later on. Thanks for joining. Right. Got quite a bit done. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 rounds on each sock? That's not bad. Not bad at all, at all. Oh, dear me. Right, I'm gonna go. Oh, look, I'm off there. Haha. That's better. Yeah, not bad. I'll keep working on them now because that's going to be my main project then for a bit. Thank you for joining, everybody that did. I got a follow, didn't I, from Vic? That's awesome. Thank you to Vic. Somebody thank him for me. Yeah, appreciate it. Lots of viewers. Love it. Mwah. Love you all. And yeah, I'll be back next Saturday for this anyway. Or, you know, if you'd like to watch bullet journaling, I'm here on Wednesdays as well. Thank you for joining me. Love you lots. Have a fantastic rest of your day, whatever it is that you are doing. And I'll see you next time.